After 3 years, Klay Thompson finally returned to the NBA Finals after a blistering performance in another closeout game in the Western Conference Finals, this time against the Dallas Mavericks. Klay came out on fire with 8 3-pointers as he helped the Dubs to an immense third quarter lead that was never relinquished. Let me break down this performance as the Dubs win in 5 and head to their 6th NBA Finals in 8 years. In the first quarter by now, you guys are all familiar with the Warriors' split action in the post, where Looney acts as the passer and the two wings screen for each other. The Mavericks opted not to switch these off-ball screens, forcing Jalen Brunson to fight over a solid Wiggins screen as Klay gets a wide open look from downtown and knocks his easy one down. On the opposite wing, we have another go-to split action, but this time it's a triple split. Wiggins cuts off this first Klay pick but acts as a decoy, and Looney comes for the second one, forcing Bullock to fight over again as Klay has an open look but opts not to take it. Dwight Powell is assumingly picking him up, and here's a miscommunication as Dallas thought this was a presumed switch. Hence, Reggie Bullock tries to pick up a rolling Looney to the basket. Thompson ends up with no defenders as he pulls up from 15 and hits the mid-range jump shot. Here, defense turns into offense. On the dribble penetration by Luka, Steph comes from the weak side to help double, forcing Doncic to pass out of this, which was the theme all series, but Curry here ends up with the steal and leads the 2-on-2 fast break. Initially, you can see Dinwiddie catch up with Steph to prevent this pull-up 3, but Kleber falls asleep as his natural instinct is to protect the rim. Thompson, of course, drifts out to the perimeter and locks his catch and shoot down. Not much here as Bjelica, who, shout out to this surprising defensive abilities this game, sets the handoff screen. The Mavs are okay with this switch, as Finney Smith is a solid wing defender. Thompson takes an arguably terrible hezzy pull-up 3, but drains this with a hand-up contest. It's funny because when Klay takes these shots and misses, Warriors Twitter all over call him quote-unquote selling. Here he gets a pin down by Moody and gets an ideal switch in Bertans, but Klay isn't super efficient taking defenders off the dribble, and here DFS leaves the rookie Moody alone and comes to double Thompson, who sidesteps into an impressive pull-up corner mid-range shot. Here's when I know it's one of those nights for him. Just like the very first play in this video, Golden State runs off-ball plays without communication as it's just part of their offensive system. Entry pass by Bjelica to Draymond, and he sets the off-ball screen for the Warriors split action. Thompson is drifting and uses his screen, and Dallas once again game plan to not switch. Dinwiddie has no option but to trail, and Klay gets another solid look from downtown and hits this one as well. Heat check and timeout Mavs. Another defensive collapse by Dallas. On the semi-fast break, you can see DFS supposedly pick up Klay, but Dre kicks out to JP, who's also wide open. But for some reason on the weak side, you have Dinwiddie and Doncic defend one Warrior player. Finney Smith has to pick up the ball, and Dre sets a nice block out, preventing Kleber from rotating. Dinwiddie has to now run across court to chase down and try to contest, and this does not affect Klay Thompson whatsoever. In the second half, the Dubs finally started to pull away, and off a tough look by Luka, he decides to not run back on D, and Dre leads a 4-on-3. Finney Smith has to stop ball, and Brunson has to pick up Curry, and what a wild behind the back pass to Klay to knock down this momentum 3 ball on the fast break. The danger of not switching Golden State off-ball screens, like I've always said in my previous videos, is that the defender is always trailing these pin downs. Thompson comes off 2 solid pin down screens, first by Draymond and next by Looney, as DFS is running for his life. Brunson does not contest this time as there is no switch, and Klay is just unstoppable by this time of the night. With Dallas slowly chipping away the lead, Steve Kerr finally decides to put back Thompson, and they automatically run their split action here. Wiggins sets a screen, forcing Dinwiddie to trail like always. Klay gets a decent look but takes to the mid-range for a smooth one-handed push shot. Shout out to Kevon Looney all series for stating his presence on the glass, especially on the offensive end. Here he grabs a loose ball and an easy kick out, lick your finger 3 ball for another second chance bucket to finally put the game away. There you have it guys, a meaningful game for Klay Thompson as he finally returns to the stage where he initially was terribly injured 3 years ago. Klay had another tremendous closeout game, a much better performance comparing his earlier outputs in the series, and it makes perfect sense as he wanted to close this game out more than anyone, putting up 32 points for arguably his best show this postseason. I'm extremely happy to see him emotional and back in the biggest stage of the sport, and shout out to Dallas for a great fight all series. Now we wait for the winner of the Miami-Boston series, and I'll see you guys next Thursday. Like this video and subscribe. Let's get 4 more.